uniforms for these two teams as Hungary will be wearing red, France will be wearing white in this Group B showdown. Ryan Carholz, long-time head coach of France. He has coached every Olympic match. And now the 7th Olympics as head coach. Vladimir Krolovic on the other side for Hungary. The Hungarians, a very young team. Some consider that a dark horse to try to make a run here. They've won 3 Olympic medals all time, a silver and 2 bronze, but their last came back in 2000. Estelle Enzaminko, the captain, playing in her 3rd Olympics, and one of the stars from that gold medal run, Helena Popa, the 23-year-old. As a 20-year-old in Tokyo, led the team with 34 goals. This showdown between France and Hungary is underway.
I'm going for France to win.
Between the two teams in the beginning, some handshakes between the two sides. Perhaps a chance for Hungary, one of the players on the team, to touch the ball. And France will put it into play. And away we go in our 5th game of this first day of the handball competition. 2 30-minute halves. The clock will run pretty much continuously unless there are stoppages for 2-minute suspensions or 7-meter throws. Outside the 9-meter line, the attack, throwing in the corner of the left wing, now back out top to Enzaminko. Captain looks for Bleep on the cut. She is tied up, and an early foul called on Hungary. It'll be a 9-meter throw in the opening minute for France.
Those backcourt players you have from the left side, a left back, a center back, and a right back. That middle player is like a quarterback. They're calling the plays, they're getting everyone set up. And usually the other 2 players, the left and the right back, are the stronger shooters from both sides.
Officials' arms are up. That means a passive play warning was given. And the first goal of the game is delivered by Hungary. On the attack, the left wing, Nudine Soloshi Schetzel, in her 2nd Olympics, scored 13 goals in Tokyo.
Yes.
And her right back. France is on board with the goal by Tamara Voracek. She did not play in Tokyo due to injury, so it must be a thrill for her to be on the court and scoring for France.
Without a doubt, she's no stranger to 2 competitions at this level. She can bring it every single time.
Very strong at the 2023 World Championship, scored 27 goals, had 21 assists and 7 steals. Excellent 2-way player for the World Champions. Hungary on the attack. That shot is high and wide and off the mark from Patrick Kluivert. France looking for something in transition, but read well by Hungary and taken away by Kusora.
For France to run the ball, they love to keep that transition going, but they're also extremely strong defensively, and that is the key for them.
Hungary showing some of that defense recovering in transition, and now on offense, no good work. Babosh, the center back. Babosh now has it, trying to spin towards the goal, and tied up there by the captain, Enzaminko.
And the Argentine refs there saying, hey, that was a little bit too aggressive. We'll just make a good play and then back off. And those are the type of communications that the 2 officials, only 2 of them, make throughout the game.
A goal from distance, Cenga Kusora, who scored 13 goals in the Olympic qualifying tournament for Hungary, puts the Hungarians on top 2-1, and now a turnover by France, and here comes Hungary again. Looking to attack and scoring again. Great start for Hungary, playing in Paris.
As you mentioned, they are dark horse, and in part because they have so much youth. They actually have a lot of history behind them, but mostly in the U19 and U17, they just don't have that experience at the senior level. We expect a lot out of them in the future, but it doesn't have been during this Olympic Games.
Alosha just scored the goal, does have experience in her 2nd Olympics. In Tokyo, Hungary was 7th. They stumbled to 10th at the 23 Worlds. So trying to turn the tide back the other way here, playing against the hosts in game number 1. This is a preliminary round, so it's pool play. 2 points going to the winner, 1 point in the event of a tie to each team. At the end of pool play, the top 4 teams out of the 6 in each of the 2 pools would advance on to the knockout round.
Valentini there, the wings, doing a nice job of recognizing that the defense was focused on the other direction, so sliding in.
This was a little bit of an aggressive foul, and I think Fopa is going to be sent off after pretty much tackling the attacker here.
Absolutely, that's an automatic 2-minute penalty. Typically, there's some warnings that happen at the beginning of the game, either verbal, you saw it earlier, or a yellow card, but in this case, that was just a little bit too aggressive.
So a 2-minute suspension against France. See, right now they have the 5 court players and the goalkeeper, Laura Gloser, in goal. Hungary on the attack. They have not emptied their goal. You'll see that from time to time with the advantage. Get out an extra court player. And another goal for Hungary. You could not ask for a better start for the Hungarians. They are on top 4-1. Kutsora scores again.
Absolutely, they are definitely setting the pace here. The first 5 minutes are typically very important throughout the game because that sets the tone for how they want to play. And they're saying, we want to play fast, and we're going to get the ball off quick.
So France now will empty their net, serving the suspension right now. So they have equal number of court players in the attack. Fleet needs some help in the corner, and Hungary there to stop that play, slow it down, and now France with the 9-meter.
The wings on those 2 outside corners typically try to stay wide so that they can open up that space.
Fleet trying to drop it down to the pivot, but could not connect with Boukdit. Another turnover for France. That is 4 turnovers now for the French women.
See Kuzic using the circle runner there, the line player. Their job is to set screens, try to get people open, and make options happen inside, much like a center with basketball.
Attack right at the edge of the goal area. Only the goalkeeper is allowed to have feet or touch that dark blue area. That's why you see the shooters with a little momentum take off at that line and try to get as close to the goal as they can before they shoot. Or you can go out 8 meters away and deliver. 5-1 Hungary in Paris. What a stunning start here in this matchup for Hungary against the defending Olympic champions.
They are here to say, we are in medal contention as well. We realize that you are Olympic champions, we realize you are world champions, but we are not afraid. We are not going to let down. So that's a good foul. So Hungary there, you want to stay good defense, chest to chest, much like you would in basketball. Those are good fouls.
Yes!
Much more than this. Let's get fired up.
You can see the experience, 7th Olympics as a head coach, as we mentioned. Maybe sometimes a coach on their home floor, tension building, might call a timeout, try to settle things down, but this is an experienced group that won gold in Tokyo. Let them figure it out. And by the way, it's game 1 of pool play. It is just the beginning.
The first half.
Yes.
He knows his players are capable of more, and they're just like everybody else here. This is the first game. They're at the bottom. Everybody starts at the same place. Right now, it's in the fight. Their butterflies are there too.
Turnover by Hungary, then turned over by France. That's been a big part of the story so far. 8 minutes into the game, and already 6 turnovers for France. Sloppy play from the French so far.
We've seen this before in the Olympics. There was a time in Tokyo when no one was sure that they would even make it out of the preliminary rounds because they just weren't playing well together. Sometimes that happens with teams. Very few teams actually go through the Olympic Games without a loss or a tie. Wow, that's really impressive.
Hungary looking for an explanation. As Dawn mentioned, our Argentina referees, Mariana Garcia and Maria Palatoni. Hungary possession, 9th minute. half. Hanging and finding the moment and the opening for the goal.
Really nice hang shot there from that wing position. You notice that they're left-handed on that right side. That's so they can get a better angle on goal. And they come in and they hang and they hold that position as long as possible so that they can then trick the goalie. Either they're going to do a soft shot or a hard shot in that case. They just change it up every single time that they shoot.
The defending Olympic champions, the favorites to win gold on their home soil, falling behind early in this game.
Yes!
Now it's a 3-goal game.
Go by being really aggressive in there. Again, on that line, that's what you have to do. You need to lean in to that 6-meter crease so the defense can't stop you. If they step in that space, as you mentioned, Eric, that is no domain but the goalie, so that will then draw 7 meters. Great job.
Saw some early personnel changes for France.
Two-minute penalty. As a player, you need to set the ball down immediately. That was a silly 2-minute penalty. Instead of holding the ball, she's trying to protect it, keep it away. That's not very smart, especially in the position that they are right now.
And that just looks and gives you an example. There is not much wiggle room given by the referees in that moment. It was not a long time to hold on to it, but it's just that split second of
Yes!
She's providing the spark here coming off the bench. Granvaux entering the game. So Krumhold's going to the bench, and that bench providing a spark to turn the tide here in the first half for France.
And that's what's so great about France is they have that depth, they have that ability to exchange somebody who can come in and is just as good or almost as good as that player. There's so much depth. That's one of their benefits. And that's what you're former champion Olympic champion.
Also, number 21, Orlan Canor, in her Olympic debut, she missed Tokyo with an Achilles injury. She's won a couple of world championships. So she's on the floor in Olympic game for her first time.
Notice France has changed their defense. Number 2 out there, no Candy. She's trying to disrupt that play and the passes from Hungary.
And a save made by Glossair. The attack from the right wing, Glossair with a save. It'll be Hungary possession.
That's sometimes also what a team needs, just as a little spark. The keeper to make a stop here and to really route their team to get them going. That's her first save of
Yes,
the
it
game.
is. And she was the all-star keeper of the 2023 World Championship, made 65 saves in that tournament. Challenge at the line as getting knocked down was Vamos. The 9-meter for Hungary.
I like Coach Krumhold's change here with no Candy up top, really pushing it out. You can see right now the officials already have their hand out, so a quick shot was necessary.
Glossair with her second save, and here comes France building some momentum, but again, trouble taking care of the ball. And another turnover for the French.
Really does look like the jitters happen. That's her 7th turnover.
Profile, who was a star for France in Tokyo, but still a young player at age 23.
Just look how strong France's defense is, how they collapse together. They're so quick, and that makes them one of the best. And that's why. Just their athletic ability.
It's like Canor may have been given a little bit of a verbal warning by the official. On the attack from the left wing, another one that's off the mark. I think Glossair may have gotten just a piece of it, but it definitely hit the post after that.
Devon did a nice job, too, of shifting down and really giving virtually no angle there. So that made Glossair look better than that actually was. It wasn't a hard stop or shot to stop.
Both teams making some changes. See Granvaux, they're going to take asked for a towel from the Hungarian bench. The ball can get pretty tactically a little slick as well.
Absolutely. Sweating has that sticker on it, which is legal in handball. Every player uses it. But yes, once you get a little sweat on there, it's back.
See, as the French players are moving around, they kind of give it a little squeeze as well, just to get a feel for it. And now we go to work on the attack on offense, down by 2. Sliding down, but not turning it over yet. Long pass, still outside the 9-meter line. Arm is up. Pass and play warning. The pass to the pivot.
Yes!
Second goal for Fopa, the assist to Nokandi, who has been a difference maker since coming in that center back position. That's the position you played for Team USA. Just take us into that position a little bit, because you're a facilitator first and foremost, but things just flow through you. You can see how impressive she is on the defensive end as well.
Absolutely. She really makes things happen, as you said, on both ends. On the offensive end, it's really just making things, calling the play and making sure that their movement happens. Because right now, Humphrey's playing very one-on-one and very straightforward. In that case, it worked for Kuchora, but not always the case. It's much easier to score when there's more movement from the backcourt. And then, again, it's initiated by, in this case, number 2, Nokandi. Again, she's calling the play. You can see with her hands up, much like a basketball team would.
Midway through the first half, 2 30-minute halves, and now an unforced error as the ball slipped down the hands and another turnover as the keeper, Kudabiro, will come up to help get the offense started for Hungary. Hungarians led 5-1, the lead right now, too.
Very smart, taking the ball out, resetting themselves. That again, that's what the playmaker's job is. Hey, we're a little off key, we're not in sync right now. Let's take it back. And the officials have their arm up. We're not saying that we need to get things going.
The officials raise their arm. That means they detect passive play by the attacking team. That team is allowed 4 passes, but that's it. You have to shoot within 4 passes. You can't make a big pass or a turnover.
Absolutely. As you see, there is no time clock for handball, and that is really just at the discretion of the officials. They want to know that you are making a touch and score.
Yes!
Her second goal, and once again it's 1-0 game. Knocking out the challenge defensively, they find the opening in the wing, and a goal for Hungary, back in front by 2. Great start for Hungary, playing in France against the reigning Olympic champions. Jumped out to a 5-1 lead. France has battled back. Olivia Krumholtz, their veteran head coach, making a couple of early substitutions that has made a difference for the French. But Hungary pushing back to go back on top by 2 as we have played 17 minutes in the first half.
Yes!
Player of the year last year. And now a turnover by Hungary. Good feet ahead. And now the attack, and guess who?
Yes!
It's Grandball, the rookie. Good tackle by Lane.
Hungary did actually a great job defensively, really trying to intercept and interrupt the play moving forward. But France, that's what we're used to seeing. Very technical, very clean passing now.
Breakout in the 2023 World, scored 20 goals, 5 in the final win over Norway, including the last 4 for France as they won goal. That one was stopped by Glossaire. I think she was wondering where it went. It went towards the corner, and it's France's possession. It's out of 12 minutes to go, first half. France with a chance to go in front.
France still finding a little bit more of their comfort zone, but this is they're still a little off. They have much more room to improve still far.
And that bid goes off the mark from Lokandi. And now Hungary will push back. On the attack in transition, France gathers back defensively.
Defense and gains the charge there.
Yes.
Off balance, scoring is Kenor. And surely a foul whistle here will probably be a 2-minute suspension, although we can get that cleared up by the referee. But that was a thing of beauty by Orlan Kenor.
Absolutely. Nice job pushing the ball. You notice she kind of bats at the ball. You cannot call. It's actually very difficult to dribble in handball. That's why they typically move the ball through passing. But that was a beautiful job getting the ball down the field.
Hungary takes a timeout. They've lost the momentum as France battles back to lead.
What do you do with a new do when you are one of the fastest men alive? Use speed testing. And then earn 2% cash back on the purchase with the Wells Fargo Active Cash Visa credit card. When the man that breaks records shops for records, he speed tests them. Because living his 2% of life means every look needs to be fast.
I'll take it.
The Wells Fargo Active Cash Visa credit card. Be a 2%er. Earn unlimited 2% cash back on purchases.
Now this here is no ordinary vacation, because this is where you enter a universe found nowhere else.
Here we go again.
It's where you'll find new thrills, big chills, and feel all the feels. On a wide-eyed adventure, exploding with new things like you've never seen before. Live a new adventure every day. Universal Orlando Resort.
Back at South Paris Arena 6, opening day, women's tournament, Olympic handball. France fell behind 5-1 to Hungary. The defending gold medalists have come back, and now time is called, but now they're going to let them play on. After the Kenor goal, got clarification during the break, there was not an additional penalty call. It was just a beautiful goal, but there was a lot of contact and some contact there as well, but that whistled against Granville. 4 unanswered goals for France. What's been the difference, Dawn?
Well, it always starts on defense for France. And then they've been able to just make a couple stops. And actually, Lauser has made a couple stops as well. Only 2 of them, though. That isn't much for the goalkeepers at this game. And Hungary on the other side not stopping anything at this point. So being able to make good defensive stops and then answering with goals on the other end.
Kloiber went down. It was Nokandi there on the initial contact. This has been a big difference too. France has taken better care of the ball, and Hungary has turned it over a couple of times. And France, with that defense and a couple of frankly unforced errors by Hungary, has made them pay. And now France back to their ways that we saw in the first 10 minutes with a turnover.
Trying to make the tough pass, make the short, easy pass. But that's a result of some quality defense by Hungary and really putting some pressure on France.
9 turnovers for France.
Yikes. That's what you would like at the end of the game, not 20 minutes into the first half.
Corley, the source on the court now. Another bench player. Sounded like Lauser got a piece of that one. It can go off the goaltender, then out of play, and it's still the possession of the goalkeeper's team. If it went off a defensive player, a court player in front of them, then it would be staying with the offensive team. That's a little bit of a change from soccer. If you're trying to like meld the sports together, something you do so well, Don, talking about how the qualities of basketball and some of soccer, although no feet here and feet there, no hands there, only hands here, as you can imagine, as you can see down is Nokandi.
Just as physical as soccer on many occasions.
Nokandi is up and okay for France. They are okay on the scoreboard after falling behind. 9-8 France, playing in Paris.
Yes!
Nokandi looks fine. She gets the goal, and France is on top by 2 in their largest lead.
That was beautiful. Gosh, she just elevates when she hits that 9-meter line. We'd love to see more heard, and more of that from France. They just keep trying to push it in, really forcing it in the center.
Kandi scored 15 goals total in the gold medal run for France in Tokyo 3 years ago. Off to a good start here with 3 goals in the first half of the first game of the tournament. Beautifully done from the right wing, hanging in the air and scoring is Jiri Lukic in her second Olympic game.
Nice job. It was just a simple overload, passing from the left, moving the ball. What they're trying to do is just attack, draw a second defender, make a simple pass to the right again, each time drawing that defender over and creating some space from that wing shot. In those wings, those are usually smaller players, or a little quicker. They get out on the fast break, but they have that athleticism and that hang time and just ability to
Horacek comes on for Kandi, keeps the production going from the center back position. She gets the goal, her third.
Great screen there as well. Granville just really blocking the way. And nervous that she was actually going to get in the way on that last shot.
France had gone on a 5-0 run to go up by 2 before that goal by Hungary, then answered right back by Horacek. And just inside the area, but pushed there apparently. Call goes against France. It'll be Denmark with a 9-minute throw. Hungary, I beg your pardon. Did I say Denmark? What's that this morning? I got the red right. Just got the country wrong. And now Hungary's bench calling for a whistle. They get it. It goes against Hungary. And it's France with the possession. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. 2 30-minute halves.
Now Hungary extending their defense out much like France did in the first half. Really trying to just put it there, getting in those the passing lane, trying to take a player out sometimes on one.
Yes.
It's Minko, the captain, with the goal for France to put the French up by 3. And that pass is behind. And there's some good defense there to affect that pass, but I agree, it's been sloppy. It was sloppy for France in the early going. That helped Hungary to the 4-goal lead, but now it's a 3-goal lead for France. And a chance to add to it here.
And that again shows a little bit of the lack of experience, a little bit of the youth from the Hungarian side. Again, they have very young players that are going to be a big part of this show in the future. But right now, they're still trying to pull it together, and they still want to show that we are prepared right now for such a game.
Yes.
The handle got it back, and France stuck with it, and a goal for Sarah Baptiste in her first Olympics. Her first international appearance was in the 2023 Worlds. Welcome to the Olympic Games.
Just 21 years of age, she has such a great career ahead of her. As you mentioned, she already has some accolades behind her. And in her first major tournament, winning a gold medal, I can't even fathom.
Now they're defensively from her pivot position, and France whistled for the foul inside of 5 minutes to go, clock running in the first half. This is a 9-1 run for France. And then a beautiful goal as Glossaire committed, left her feet. And flying in was Nicolette Pop.
Notice there's been a goalie change on the other end. Great tactic also. The defense didn't seem to be working. Putting out the person in the middle, the 5-1 defense, wasn't quite as effective as it had hoped. So, yes, change out the goalkeeper. Something needs to change in order to get Hungary back to this game.
So Budabiro is out, and Kinga Janurek is in for the Hungarians. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Already today, Denmark and the Netherlands and Brazil and Korea picking up victories on day 1 of the preliminary round. Still one more match to come tonight. Be a good one. Sweden and Norway in Group A. Sweden making their first Olympic appearance since 2008. Petit ties up the attacker. More time comes off the clock. 3.5 minutes to go in the first half.
France's defense just really picking up here. That's probably been the biggest difference for them. It's very aggressive. They're really getting out into the passing lane, even if they're not extending all the way out. They're looking like they are, hesitating, pushing, even along the 6 meter.
Not much to work with from the left wing, but doing well with it was Sulushi Schetzel. Gave a goal to Hungary with 3 minutes to go. That's her third. Horacek back out to Enzaminko. And now personnel will change up here, offense for defense, and a timeout's going to be called by Olivier Krumholtz.
We talked about the exchange of offense, defense, much like lacrosse or hockey. You can exchange on the fly at any time. That person just needs to be outside the court before we're going to
There'll be a lot of people watching in the States who aren't very familiar with handball. They're familiar with it once every 4 years. It seems one of the great things that I think is appealing to the American fan, casual fan, is the game doesn't stop. The clock usually doesn't stop. If there's a goal, there's not time to celebrate. You'll see you can't blink. We can barely see a replay of what happened to that goal because the team that was scored upon is back up the floor. It is a back and forth game played on a court that's 40 meters long.
Absolutely. And in addition to that, the officials never touch the ball. So if there's an infraction, a travel, a push, whatever, they point to where that infraction happened, and the other team can take the ball and just get and go. And that's why we see such high scores in the sport of handball.
And this has been a fast-moving first half. We have not had any 7-meter penalty shots yet. That's a stoppage moment. We have seen very few whistles when it comes to a 2-minute suspension. I remember just one 2-minute suspension so far. So that clock has been running inside of 3 minutes now.
The biggest challenge here has been goalie defense, but that's a result of, on Hungary's chance typically, is that they haven't been playing quality defense. In this case, they did get the ball and end up on the other end.
France turns it over again, something that plagued them in the early going. And now the French are being paused to put the ball back into play. Hungary gets organized on defense. So Hungary turning that turnover into points again. How much of this France showing those jitters really it felt like in the early going, making these turnovers. Now trying to do maybe a little bit too much is Enzaminko with the no-look bounce pass behind the back. Is playing in front of the home crowd, is defending that Olympic gold medal. Do you think that's a big piece of maybe them being tense here, turning it over and not being as sharp as we're used to?
Sure, absolutely. And, you know, Hungary plays with, right now, nothing to lose. France has everything to lose. As I mentioned at the top of the game, they're the ones with the target on their back every single game, every minute of that game.
Yeah.
Hungary still looking for their first save of the first half. Teeth with the goal for France, approaching 1 minute to play.
That's not typical. You don't have a keeper making a save. This is just, again, Hungary's defense isn't fantastic right now, but it's also not bad.
Yeah.
I was going through my mental Rolodex. How to finish their sentence here? He only knows how to finish a play, and it's Enzaminko on the attack to put France on top by 3. I was right there with you. I was there trying to pull that out.
I'm not used to seeing goalkeepers not make stops. I'm in shock.
30 seconds to play in the first half.
If it's not one goalie, it's the other. Somebody makes the stop.
Oh, turnover. Oh, but a whistle will stop the French break. As a whistle's called against France, Fleet thought perhaps she would have a break. Hungary has to go quickly here. They have time. Remember, clock continues to run down to 6 seconds. Now with 5. There's a save by a goalie. It's Glossaire, the veteran, who comes out, makes the save, and that will do it for the first half. And the first half certainly ended